Hi, colleagues. My name is Claudia Abar, and I am a kindergarten teacher in District 4. I'm also one of your virtual content specialists for kindergarten math. Now, this week, we started to split the lessons into 2 days. We talked about the reasons behind it in each one of the videos, and I mentioned before that I wanted to give you some additional tools that you can use to make your lessons a little bit more interactive, a little bit more fun. Now, I know my children, my students, they love apps. They live for apps, and I can't get them into my lessons quickly enough. So, this is one way that we have used the time that we have when we have additional time to make the lessons either more fun or a little bit clearer for some of the students. A lot of my babies still need a lot of visual representation. So, I'm going to guide you through 3 of the apps that we have introduced in the past, and there are videos showing you how to use this, and some of the ways that we have used them to talk about someone's and decomposing teen numbers. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll make this really quick for you. So the first one that I'm sharing is from the number frames. This is from the Math Learning Center. So I went ahead and created this. You can create by clicking here. It will give you the grids that you use, the frames, and then you can go ahead and change the shapes here and choose whatever you want. So I went ahead and created some ladybugs and some penguins. I will have my students count for me. And I will always start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and write the number 16 here. Remove this. Let me make it in red. Since this one is the red one, I will make 16. And now I would ask my students, how can we decompose? One of those sizes is already done for you. 10. And then some ones. How many ones? And then I would hope my students will say 6. So 6 ones, 10 ones. And then let's do the same one for the penguins. And the penguins color change. We have 18. So go ahead and tell me, how can we decompose that? How can we break it down? The number bonds are really helpful in class because they're used to them. And I apologize because my drawings are super crude, but I'm sure you can do a way better job. My students will say this. So now I would ask them which one has more if we were only to compare the sum ones. I will highlight what I mean by the sum ones, these numbers. We're only comparing these numbers because 10 is the same as 10. So we don't need to compare this 10 and this 10. We know it's the same. So comparing these two numbers, which one has more? 8. Okay, great. 10 and 8, 18. This one will be it. So that's one way that we can do that. Another way, I apologize in advance, is the number rack. Now, some of you are going to be super tech savvy and you can do split screens, and go ahead and kudos for you. This teacher here struggled, and I don't like struggling that much. So I went ahead and did this. I'm using the shade to hide my middle, and I want my students to compare this rack here with this rack. Which one has more? Which one has less? Now, I know that my students only work with the numbers that have been moved all the way to the left. So here, my students should be saying this is 15. And I would totally write this on this app too. Move this over. So I would write down 10 and 5. And this one, I will now write 10. And that's okay if it goes over the line a little bit. You can do better than I can. And 8. So now again, I can also do a number bond here. It will have to be drawn on this part of it. So I don't need to compare the 10s. They are the same. So I would only compare the 5 and the 8. Which one has more? 8. 18 is more than 15. Which one has less? 5. 15 is less than 18. And the reason why the sum ones is really, really helpful is because some of your students are still going to struggle with teen numbers. This is a way for everybody to be included in the work. 5 is less than 8. All of your students by now can count to 10. So they know how to do this. And I'm sure that all of your students can also do the teens, but we want to make sure that we are inclusive in all of the work that we do. The last one that I want to show you is the pattern shapes app, super easy. You can count them by actually highlighting, and you see how it develops a green little highlight around it. I'll say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to write my numbers down. Why? Because I am a kindergarten student and I forget. 16, and then I will count my triangles, and the same thing will happen. We will get this cool little highlight. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And once again, I'm going to write it. Why? Because I'm a kindergarten student and I need my visuals. 13. And we would ask the students, how can we break this? How can we decompose? They will say 16 goes into 10 and 6. And 13 will give you 10 and 3. Which one are we comparing? We are comparing the sum ones. And this one has more, so this one will get a check. Maybe you want to ask them which one has less. Entirely up to you. We wanted to offer these apps up because even though we know that they are out there, we tend to forget in the moment that we're creating a lesson. All of these can be found on the mathlearningcenter.com. .org.com. Hold on. I don't know. I don't want to give you the wrong information. Let's go back to it. Mathlearningcenter.org. Awesome. All right, colleagues. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found these apps useful. Go ahead and create them. Have some fun with them. Have your students send you the code. Send your students the code. Any additional practice, anytime that your students get to create, I know mine have a much better time with it than I do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good time.